So the first thing we do, make sure we shuffle. Don't want people to think that I'm cheating. And we deal 6 cards to ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll put them to one side. Part of the one-player game, and I have to say, the artwork on these is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, through the morning phase, we have to play in numerical order, so you can see the numbers here at the bottom. They're all different, so we have to play in numerical order. So I'll set these up, I'll show you them in a minute on camera. So here's what I've got. We'll do that. Now, as part of the start, we take 2 cards from the deck here, and we have to play them in numerical order. Okay, now this starts us up. Now we get to play 2 cards from our cards down here. Okay, but they have to be in numerical order for the morning phase. In the evening phase it's slightly different, I'll explain that a bit later. But each one of these symbols means something. So pink symbols mean you have to choose one of them. There are blue symbols, there are yellow symbols, but we'll go through them as they come out. So these 2 cards are basically saying, this is an anaconda, it's saying I can shoot it and get a food, or shoot it and gain this resource. Now you can spend this resource on other cards. Again, we'll explain that when we come out. But what we have to choose now is which 2 cards from our hand are we going to play. And the best way of thinking about this is, how will it be beneficial? Because at the end of every morning and evening we have to spend one of our food. Okay, so what we don't want to be doing is spending all our food, for example, on things like this. So we need to look at our cards and see what will help us, what will be beneficial. Now this card, the Rapids, is not too bad, because if we think about this card, if we spend the food to get the symbol here, we can use the symbol here, and what this one means is it's going to help us take a step forward on the track, and that's how we win the game. So from that point of view, it could be a good card to play, but again, we're spending 2 of our food and we need to spend food at the end, and if we don't spend food at the end, someone loses health. Another thing to consider, if we need to spend a symbol, so for example if we look at the injury card, we've got this tent here. If we don't have any tents in our resources, we can spend 1 of the expert, spend their expertise by spending their health, and that helps us out. But that is not a great card. However, it's not too bad, because this is what I'm talking about with the blue and the yellow. The yellow I have to do, I have no choice. The pink I have a choice of 2. The yellow I have to do. The green, I can't even speak now, the blue are optional, purely optional. So, you know, that's something else to keep in mind. So, what do I want to play? Well, looking at my cards, I do have this card over here, but he's very high. I have to play 2, I have no choice. This card, being 34, means I get a choice, but these symbols mean I would have to add 2 cards to the end, and that's not a great thing to do, but it would allow me to skip a card that was next to it. So you could potentially put a bad one next to a really good one. That's a pretty bad one. So it will extend our play, but if we play 34 and then the insects 36, yeah, that's a plan. And then we have to take a card from here, which is a very good card, which would actually go numerically here. And now we play 1 more card. Now if we take this for food, all of a sudden these cards don't look too bad, because this will give us a lot of food, and we can use the food to get this symbol, and then we can use that symbol to help us move forward with the food. So that's at 29, so that would come in here. That would come in here. So if we play that, this is our morning trek. This is how we go through. So we're going to follow the footprints, go through the anaconda, go up a steep path, go down some rapids, get lost, and then deal with some insects. And these 3 cards we've got here will go away. So let's start. So we'll put a little greenie on there. Now I think we've decided already it would be lovely to skip a card to gain a food. Yeah, sorry, skip a card to gain 1 on the track here. But there's no point in that this time. So if we use this purely for 3 food, so we'll get our 3 food, and they go there. Okay, so what's this card telling us? It's saying we can use a bullet to get a food, we can use a bullet to get that token. Yeah, because we've just got all that food, we don't want this because that means someone loses 2 health. So what we're going to do is we'll use a bullet, and bullets are in very short supply in this game. And we'll gain this as a resource so we can use later. So we'll put that over there in our resource pile. We go to the next one. Again, do we want to do this? Not really. We want to gain the resource, so we spend a food. We gain the resource, and we've dealt with that card. So we're getting some stuff together. Here, okay, is what we decided was blue is optional. So what we can do is spend a food, spend the resource which we got because it's here on the card. So we spend that, and that gives us 1 move on the track. So we're on our way. Those 2 are now spent. I'll have this card over here. And then we go on to the next one. Now, this card. This is saying we could spend 2 resources to move forward. Now, originally we was just going to try and skip a card and get something, but because we have this card, which we use to get the resource, as you can see, if it focuses, yeah. And if we spend 2 of those, and if we take 1 off Isabelle, put it over here, that would satisfy the 2 here, and that would mean that we can go 1 forward on the track. Move on to the next one, we'll discard those. Okay, now this is a bit more difficult because we don't have any resources left. So what we have to do is we will have to use her expertise. So within 1 day, Isabelle is half health. Yeah, so we've satisfied that. We can't skip a card because there's nothing there, but we will gain that resource, and we can't ditch a card. We can't take a card off the end because there isn't one. But we do gain that as a resource. Greenie comes back to the end. That goes into our resources. Morning becomes evening. We spend a food because we're hungry. And then we start again. Put that up there. Now, the way that evening works is slightly different. Cards, as we've seen already, our cards are played in the order that they're actually placed. So I have to start this off. Now we've got a lot of food. Well, I say a lot of food. We've got 3 food. I think actually this is a good card to get us moving. So if we play him here, okay, so we're going to start here. Now for the evening, when you take a card from the deck, you get to choose whether to put it on the left or the right. It's your choice. Or I can play a card here and put it on the left or the right. Yeah, so it's my choice. But I always tend to go, let's see what we've got here. Okay, now we've only got 2 bullets and we don't have any leaf. Oh, we do have a leaf. We have a leaf there. So that's good. We can put him here. So he's actually, we're going to use this leaf to bypass this cougar to get around him. Fantastic. Oh, get into focus. Eventually it will. Okay. So, now what are we going to play? I think we should go for another one of these. Yeah, we'll go for another one of these. What we got this time? Oh, this is not good. This is not a good card. So I guess the best thing we can do with this is deal with it here. Now we do this until we've got 6 cards out, which means you're going to get 3 from here and you're going to use your 3 here. So we're going to have to start using some of our own cards. Now I do have bullets, and what this symbol means is I can swap 2 card positions, which if I thought about it earlier, you would have played it way earlier, so you can swap 2 bad cards around. So I'm going to play that now, and then if I, see, I could have used the leaf on here. Okay, so if I put that one there, and then the 6th card comes out, and it is this one, which isn't that bad, so it goes there. So we start our evening trek. We start here. Now, I was going to use my leaf, but I'm actually going to use a bullet to gain this resource. He moves over, resource comes down here. So we've got the compass and the leaf. Here, I'm going to spend 1 food to move forward. So 1 food, move forward. So, you know, we've still got a ways to go, but we're getting there. And that satisfies that card. This one goes to the discard. This card here, now we have to do the top ability. We have no choice. So somebody's got to lose health. It's not going to be Isabelle, so we'll take it off Enis. So Enis, sorry, you've lost a health. We have to lose a food, which is tragic, because now we're running really low on food. But we do get to swap 2 cards around. So if we look at the next load of cards, there's nothing there that lets us skip anything. But we could get a lot of food and we could heal someone. But I'm quite happy with the order they're in at the moment. So that's fine. Then we have to do the pink bits. So we'll use 1 off Bessie now, which will satisfy this part. So we'll take 1 off Bessie. And then we'll move on. Okay, so now we have to do whatever this says on here. We do have 1 food, and I do think because we're going to gain food here, it would be worth spending the 1 food to get this resource, because then we can use that resource here to get more food or to heal someone. So we will spend 1 food. It's our last food for now. Give it to the tribe. Move on. That card's done. This card is saying we have to spend a tent and lose 2 health, which is not a good card because we don't have any tents. So we will have to spend 1 off her and 2 health. Venus is nearly dead. That satisfies that card, but we are going to use our leaf that we got earlier on here to get 2 food. So that gives us 2 food. Okay, so those cards have been dealt with. They go away. And that gives us this one. Which... Ooh. Didn't think about that. I did pay the 1 food to get the 1 tent for this. I'm sure I did. Because that was my whole aim. So, we've got our tent. I think we were better off 2 food or healing. I think we would be better off getting the 2 food, believe it or not. It'll make sense later. Okay, they go away. Greenie comes up here. Morning goes to night. Night goes to morning even. 1 food gets spent. And then I'll steady this down. We start the next round. We get 6 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what have we got? Faulty kit, healing herbs, which is okay. The monkey is going to steal your food. Nightshade, which is not particularly nice. Swamp. And dehydration, which is horrid, and it would actually kill Enis. Okay, so let's put these in order. 10, 51, 45, 56. Oh, lots of high cards. So, we have our cards here. We take 2 from here, because it's morning. and we've got 48 and 43, so they're quite high. Yeah, they're quite high. Spend a bullet to get a food. I've only got one bullet left. I have to spend health. I have to take damage, but I can swap, so I take 2 damage on that unless I've got a tent. So what I need to be thinking of here is, can I get a leaf so I can play this? So if I look along my cards, yes I can, but what's the number? 51. So 51 would come after that, but I would get the leaf off this actually. So that's not... Oh, if I get the leaf off this, oh no, but that's a 10, you see. This is the problem with this game. You think, oh yeah, I can use this on here. But in the first round, when it goes numerically, I can't, because that will end up here somewhere. So that's one to use for next round. This card would kill Enis. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't actually. This card would not kill Enis. Enis is the leaf. So let's have a look at this. I do have, but again it's a 56, it's too high. I need something quite low, so we've not done very well here with the cards. What the hell, right? We'll play that one. We do have to play another card. These are not nice cards. Really not nice. I guess the other one to play would be the monkey, because we've got 3 food. Yeah, and then we play 1 card from the deck, which is horrible. It's the swamp. Sorry, you can't see that. It's the swamp. Oh no, sorry, it's a swarm, which will go here. 23. So now I have to consider which one of my cards would be best to play. I do have this symbol, and it is right at the end, but it will add a card to the end. So I think we may be losing this game. This game is incredibly difficult, by the way, but hey, it won't be worth playing, would it? So Greenie comes down here. Now I have to make a choice. I need to spend a tent, which I don't have, and if I spend expertise it would come off, or a health. So I guess it's a 6 and 2 3. So if we take 1 health off Bessie, that satisfies the card because we've done that one, and then we move on. Okay, now this is saying I can swap 2 cards around. I can swap 2 cards around, so let's have a look here. In fact, they're all saying I can swap cards, so it doesn't really matter. Let's have a look. Now, yes, it's not really worth it, so I'm not going to swap any cards around, but I will either have to lose a health, spend a tent, or use my last bullet. And I think for the sake of, say, health, I'm going to spend the bullet, satisfy that. That goes away. That card is dealt with. Goes to discard. Okay, so this is saying I have to lose a health. So, Isabel, sorry, my party is not looking very healthy. So we've done the top. I can swap some cards round, which I'm not going to, but I do. Someone is going to die. So why don't we just, Bessie, sorry, you are out of here. Okay, that satisfied that card. That one moves on. This says someone has to lose a health, so that's another person who's dead. So, sorry, Enis, you're a goner. Okay, so we satisfied that. We can swap 2 cards around, which it doesn't really matter. And then I haven't got the bullet. Remember, blue is optional. Okay, but I do get this as a resource. So this moves over. That goes into my resources. I move on to here. So I can spend 1 food. I get these resources. They come down here. Go on to the next one. Focus. This says I have to add a card to the end. So I have to do that. I have to spend a compass, which I do have, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use that one, just in case I need that leaf later. So that one goes there. Move on to this card, which got put in. Now, oh dear. I either spend 2 food to move forward 1. I either spend 1 bullet to skip 2. I have no bullets. I either spend 1 health to gain a compass, which would kill Isabel. But if I spend the 2 food to move forward 1 on the track, I will have no food for the evening and Isabel will die. We have just lost the game. So we'll spend 2 food to keep her alive, to move forward 1 on here. Greenie goes back up here where there are no resources. It's now, that goes away. It's now evening. There is no food. Isabel dies. Oh dear, that's not great. Okay, well hopefully you've seen, this game is pretty brutal. My wife and I, we've played this 7, 8 times. We've beat it twice. One was on the easy mode, which you take the first 2 cards off, so you effectively only have 7 cards to go. But nearly every time we've played it and lost, we've always got to here. So, yeah, I really like this game. My wife likes it as well. Really, really enjoyable. It's worth picking up. It's not that expensive either. I think you can find it on Amazon for about under £20. A 2-player, but I'll see if I can get a 2-player run through up, see if my wife wants to do that. But yeah, really enjoyed this game, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much.